Before we get started, I do want to go on a little bit of a tangent, which I realize I do in like most of my videos before my little intro starts, but I want to talk about this and I have no other video that I could put this in, so you're getting a tangent real quick. So one day I just walked into my bathroom and there was a hand soap on the sink that I did not purchase, and apparently my brother's girlfriend had purchased this hand soap from Bed Bath & Beyond. And she does that. She has a habit of buying things for our house that she thinks that we need without anyone asking her to, which is cool, I guess. But the specific hand soap has intrigued me since I've gotten it because it has like, it's like a goop, it's soap, and it has a green sparkle to it, like this really beautiful green sparkle that you can only see in the light. That sounds so crazy. And I've been obsessed with this hand soap and the way that it like reflects, right? Then at my job, we have a Christmas tree and there's ornaments on my tree that have the same exact specific like white base with this beautiful light green shimmery reflectiveness. And every time I look at either the ornaments or the soap, I'm like, I wish I had makeup that looked like this, that could emulate this feeling that these colors are giving me. Flash forward to me going through my highlighter collection, and I find this. This is the Makeup Revolution Strobe Highlighter in holographic lights. And this is the exact green shift that I'm talking about. And I have stained fingers for my eyeshadow, which I'll talk about in a minute. But this is it. This is, I hope this translates on camera. I don't know why I'm flipping you off. This is the exact shift that I'm referring to. So it pays to have a ridiculous makeup collection because one day you just might find the highlighter that emulates the feelings that your hand soap may give you. You know what I mean. We've all been there. Hi guys, my name is Lacey. I'm Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Do you know what I'm about to say? If you've been a long time subscriber to my channel, you might know that this is my favorite kind of video because I'm doing another collab. But this time I'm collabing with my Woman Crush Wednesday, even when it's not Wednesday, my forever Pisces love, Nisa, Nisipisa, here on YouTube. Nisa is everything that I wish I could be. That's so dramatic, but she is so funny and witty and smart and quick. And the second I found her channel, I fell deeply in love with her, and then we just like have had this Pisces love affair of like being emotional and flaky and like understanding and like soul sisters since like the moment we've connected. And I'm so happy that we're finally officially collabing because we like shout the other out so much because we both love the other so much. So I'm just, you have to, I don't know how you could possibly not have already checked Nisa's channel out, but you literally have to. To this day, she'll still mention me in videos and I'll be like, oh my god, like to this, and we've been friends for a while now. Nisa asked me if I wanted to collab with her like forever ago. We had this collab, we had the idea to collab forever ago. Never kind of specified the when or the what or the who, and then we kind of like both forgot about it and then came back to this, and she's just such an angel because my life has been just a shit bucket lately and I've been kind of flaky and she's been so understanding. So hell or high water, I worked 2 doubles in a row. This is my second makeup look that I've put on my face today. My whole body hurts and if I think about it too much I'll start crying. But hell or high water, I was filming this video today because I can't continue to let Nisa down. And I should probably, I've gone on so many tangents already and we haven't even started the video. Today we're going to be talking about makeup that makes me feel like a bad bitch. This is the perfect video to do with Nisa. And if you watch her channel, you will understand why I feel that way because this video idea is just Nisa's. It's all Nisa's and it's all her personality and I love it so much. Today we're going to be talking about makeup that we like to wear when we just want to feel like we're owning it. Like we're on top of the world, that everyone needs to get out of our way, we're walking out the door. Oh my god. I obviously wear a lot of heavy makeup. I wear this kind of makeup every single day. This is literally the kind of makeup I wear to work. This is the kind of makeup I wore to school. This is what I look like if I have to go out in the world in public to like the store or something. This is what I look like. So for like a hot second, it was hard for me to think of products that I wanted to include with this because there's a part of me that's like, I look like a bad bitch every day. But specifically when I thought about it, there's a couple like key things that I do every day and then specific looks that I go for that I feel like I specifically when I wear these things, I'm like, I'm unstoppable. You can't touch me. Fuck with me. So ranting aside, I'm going to first talk about the things that you probably see me do all the time and then get into the more specific things. I think Nisa is doing her video in the style of a get ready with me. I thought about doing that, but like I save my get ready with me's for when I'm like an emotional wreck and need to rant to you guys. So you could probably expect one soon because like I said, life has been intense lately. The first thing that I need to point out that always just makes me feel on top of my shit is when I do an intense Instagram brow. And I realized that Instagram brows are pretty much on their way out. That the trend now is to do more like stylized, fluffy, thick brows. But I love a blocky Instagram brow. I can't give it up. I love it so much. I love the way that I've specifically done my brows for the last like year, I would say. And I'm holding up Anastasia Dipbrow because this is the shit that specifically, once I got this into my life and once I wouldn't say perfected because I'm sure a lot of people hate my eyebrows, but when I got to a level of understanding with it where I felt comfortable with it, then I really felt like every time I walk out the door, my eyebrows look amazing. I'm a bad bitch. But my Dipbrow specifically is in the shade Ash Brown. If you're ever wondering, I list all the makeup I ever wear down below in the description box, and this is always my description box. First of all, can we talk about like how ridiculous my panning, like this, I don't know if you can tell, this has very minimal uses left out of it. I got this Dipbrow for my anniversary last October and it's still going strong, and I had like a 6 months intermission where I had red hair and I wasn't using it, but I'm almost done. This has like maybe like a week or two left of uses and I'm so excited to pan this fully once and for all. But anyway, whenever my brows are perfectly thick and structured and have that little bit of fade in the front like a true Instagram brow, I just love it so much. Whenever I get a compliment on my eyebrows, it just like feeds into like the darkest realms of my soul and like encourages my inner narcissist, because I just like, because some days most days I would say I hate my eyebrows. So the days that I can really perfect like my perfect arch, I'm looking in the monitor now to be like, is today that day? The days that I perfectly perfect like the angle and the arch and the thickness, and they're like sisters and maybe they could be twins, maybe like fraternal twins, maybe not identical, but like those perfect eyebrow days, on top of the world, unstoppable feeling. The next makeup thing, it's kind of like a trick, kind of a thing that really makes me feel like a bad bitch. And this is something that I really started doing, I would say, this year and probably towards the second half of this year. I basically gave up contouring because I just didn't like how it looked anymore. I like already wear a lot of makeup and I just felt like it was an extra step that wasn't doing a lot for me, and that really just made me look like, you know, the Neapolitan thing. I'm not into that. So I kind of have been sticking with the light bronzer just to like lightly outline my round baby face. And then I've been amping up a heavy blush. So the heavy blush is kind of acting like that structure to give my face some definition, because I kind of have these little like dimply indents in the side of my face. So I like the way that a heavy blush plays with that. And I realized that like contouring with blush was a thing in like the 80s. So I didn't like invent this or anything. But anyway. Specifically today, because I'm trying to wear as many of the things that I'm talking about in this video, specifically today I am wearing the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2 from Juvia's Place. The Saharan Blush Palette's come in a Volume 1, which is for deeper skin tones, and the Volume 2 for lighter skin tones. This is such a great consistency of blush, and it's really good for if you're trying to achieve the look that I'm describing right now, where you have a pigmented blush, but these don't, there's like the Juvia's Place blushes are very pigmented, but somehow they're still wearable. And I'm saying wearable as in I don't feel like I look like a clown when I leave the house. Other people might debate that, but I don't personally feel like a clown when I'm wearing these blushes. And I can go very heavy with this and get a really good distinctive pigmentation. I really love this more orangey red, and then this like very soft pink. I love the two so much. But like I said, I feel like it gives me that kind of structure that I was going for with contouring, and it's just a nice statement. And I love tying in a blush color that works really well with my eye look. Every once in a while, if my eye look is a little bit lighter, I like to drag a blush over my nose, and I fucking love that look. I think I got that trick from Laura May Beauty because she's like the queen of like pink details. And it's a shame because I have like a contour product in my backup drawer that I just don't think I'll ever get to now, because I don't know if I'm going back to contouring for a while, but I'm loving the heavy blush thing so much. If I'm gonna stick with the cheek area, even though this is actually my last step, but I figured because I'm saving eyes and lips for last, obviously this was probably no shock to anybody who watches my channel or knows me as a human being. Intense highlighter is my everything. It is, but besides eyeshadow, because we all know that eyeshadow is my favorite thing on the planet, highlight, if eyeshadow's here, highlighter is like right here. Like they're just sandwiched. I fucking love a blinding highlight, and again, I feel like that's another thing that is starting to go away, and we went through the whole like beaming to the gods craziness for like a hot second. I feel like we lost it a little bit, but I refuse to give it up. I have to look like a lighthouse at any given moment. Specifically today, this literally just came in the mail today when I came home from work, which is why I wanted to wear it. This is the Tribe Highlighter Volume 3 by Juvia's Place. So they have, as the name would suggest, 3 volumes of this highlighter. The first volume is for deeper skin tones. The second volume is for more medium to light skin tones. And then this one is for more fair skin tones. Like I said, just got this. I don't know how I personally feel about this highlighter yet. It is a beautiful color. I'm sorry about my stained fingers, but for a very fair individual like myself, I'm gonna like make a heavy duty swatch. It is a really good color. I don't know if you can see that, but it's basically the actual color of my skin tone, but with a beautiful wet look. The only thing, like I said, this is the first time I've worn this highlighter, so consider this a first impression. I got hard pan like right away, first use on this with a clean makeup brush, which is infuriating because now I have to take the tape and I have to rip the top layer of tape off to get the hard pan off, and that drives me nuts because I have the same kind of glossy wet highlighter effect with other highlighter formulas that don't do that. And I love Juvia's Place. This might be the first thing from Juvia's Place where I'm like, ugh, but it's still pretty and I'm gonna make it work. But the big mama, the big gal that I had to talk about in this video was the Give Me Glow 9X Glow palette, which this basically costs an arm and a leg, this palette. And it costs an arm and a leg because it is 9 full-sized highlighter pans from Give Me Glow in a range of colors. I was going to say finishes, but they're all the same finish. They're all blinding. I just love this so much. My favorite Give Me Glow shade ever, this palette is dirty because I reach for this nonstop, is Halo, which I feel like swatches of Halo were like Instagram famous for a second because it's the one with the blue kind of undertone. I'm sorry that I'm not swatching more properly, but like I have burns on my hands, so this is the best I'm going to do. Whenever I wear this specific shade out of the whole palette, even though I love this whole palette, White Noise, Porcelain Peach, Champagne and Lilies, even Platinum Lilac, which is a little too dark for me, but I love so much. Anytime I wear this highlighter specifically, I look like a Martian robot that's here to kick ass and take names. And when you blend it out, you lose a little bit of that blueness, and it becomes like a little bit more unassuming and not as crazy, and you really just get that intense yellowness. And I love it so much. I did not buy makeup wipes, so this is the life I have chosen for this video. I'm wearing pajama pants. The beauty of YouTube is I'm presentable from this way up, but on the bottom I'm wearing pajama pants. So I'm just going to wipe my hands on my pajama pants like an animal right now. I've worked like 28 hours straight, don't judge me. But I can't give up the intense highlighter, and Give Me Glow I think is my #1 highlighter formula. I feel like that's very daring to say, and I'm going to do a whole video dedicated to just my most blinding highlighters very soon. Because I think like I love the E.l.f. for highlighters. I really love that Bombshell Cosmetica palette that I just got, but this is like my ride or die, my tried and true. But like I said, it's fucking expensive. If you can get this on sale or for a coupon, try. If not, don't even think about buying this. Just buy the individual shades that you're interested in. There is no reason, unless you're an absolute nut bar like me, to get this gigantic palette. But I did, and I regret nothing. Side note, a couple people asked me how I get my highlighter to look like this. I'm not saying this to joke. If you've ever seen my Get Ready with me, you've seen me do this. I apply highlighter first before blush, and I apply like a crap ton of it, and then I sandwich my blush overneath, that's not a word, over top of it, because I feel like I get a better blend that way so I don't have Neapolitan cheek. Then I will finish myself off with setting spray and fan, you know, as you do. But when I'm still not fully dry, I'll go in and do even more highlighter and then spray again. And that's how I get like this level of ridiculousness, if anyone was ever wondering. That's the trick. And then of course I have to talk about the eyeshadows that make me feel like a bad bitch, but specifically there's like one specific palette I want to highlight in this video, but it's just three. There's three like looks that really like stamp in like I own this bitch feeling for me. The first thing that I absolutely love to do if I'm trying to be in a mood where I'm just like full of myself and loving every minute of it, I love a red smoky eye, and I just recently got the Saffron palette from Suva Beauty, which I think a lot of people were like, really Lacey, of all people you bought this palette, but for me this just seemed like the most perfect compact go-to smoky eye palette. And I say that because they have the most perfect matte red and like the best shade to deepen with, and then I love all of these choices for metallics to pair with a matte red. And it just for me felt like it could be my go-to red smoky eye palette. Plus I really love the Suva Beauty formula. I have the Block Party palette, which I want to review in my like group indie rainbow colorful review that I've been promising forever, and it's coming, I swear. So because I love the Block Party palette so much, I was really confident that I wanted to get this. And also, not for nothing, before you judge me, I went through all of my palettes, believe it or not. I sat through all my drawers and like tried to convince myself I had this palette already before I bought it. And I had like warm toned brown palettes, but nothing that was specifically, in my opinion, red focus, which could sound like an excuse to buy it. Maybe it is, you can judge me, that's fine. But I just love this palette so much. And then if I want to just have a red shadow that's going to amp up any kind of red tone look that I want to do, I have to talk about Love Plus specifically from Sugarpill. This is my custom Sugarpill palette. And some of these shades you can't buy anywhere from Sugarpill, unfortunately, but I know they're coming out with a lot of new shades very soon, which I do want to buy if you were wondering, because they all look beautiful. But Love Plus still exists, and to me it's the most perfect matte red ever. I'm not going to swatch it because Sugarpill mattes notoriously swatch like shit, but you cannot beat the pigmentation of a Sugarpill shadow. This palette was a crazy investment, and I love it so much, and I feel like I've definitely gotten my money's worth, because anytime I'm going for a look with a specific color, I reach for this set of like primary colors to help amp up that look, and I'm so not disappointed. And this red is the most perfect red. In a past video I did with Karen Harris, I talked about how I use this to like amp up the Naked Smoky palette. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like when I need a look to have even more red and to have a true red, Sugarpill is the first place I'll go to. Spitting everywhere. I think I got a second wind because like I said, I worked 2 doubles, came home, wasn't convinced I'd have the energy to film this video, and then I'm going through it, and now I totally have a second wind and I'm ready. The next kind of 2 looks that I'm going to talk about to wrap this video up. Oh wait, I have lips to talk about too. To almost wrap this video up. Specifically are 2 different things. One, I love when I have a strong, unique color combination. Like for example, the makeup I'm wearing tonight, which I can't promise looks great because I'm exhausted. I love that I paired like a purple with a blue with a red, and I was able to do that because I used the Dragon Child palette from formerly Makeup Monsters, now Menagerie Cosmetics. So the brand Makeup Monsters has rebranded into Menagerie Cosmetics, and they do still sell this palette. So this palette to me, and I'm not saying this lightly, is one of my favorite palettes that I have in my collection ever. Just point blank, is one of my favorites. If my makeup disappeared tomorrow, you can bet your fucking ass that I would go out and buy this again. And I say that, one, because I love this formula. My fingers are so stained because I used my fingers to apply the blue today, and these shades are so pigmented that they will stain your skin, just as an FYI. But I love the colors in this palette, and love the color combinations in this palette. And using this palette has really forced me to be more creative with my color pairing choices. And every time I wear a look with this palette, I get so many compliments. In fact, one lady at my lash job told me that I looked like an insect, but she meant like in a beautiful way, like when you see like beautiful insects like curated in a museum entomology collection with like their beautiful wings and stuff, like a beetle, think like a gorgeous beetle. That's what she meant, and she actually asked if she could take my photo. It's a whole interesting story, but I like, to this day, that compliment was like my favorite compliment anyone's ever given me. But it was because I was wearing this palette and I was playing with the blues and the greens and the reds, and I love it so much. This palette makes me so brave, and I love how badass a successful, interesting color combination can make you feel. Also, even though I don't do all matte looks often, I love an all matte look for feeling like a total badass. And I don't know why that is. I think because you don't have like the reflection messing with your true eye shape. This could totally be BS, and like, I don't know what it is about a matte look. I just feel like the color looks more distinctive and bold in an all matte look. And I just, even though I don't do all matte looks a lot, I always feel like really cool. Like, if not a bad bitch, I feel cool as all hell when I do an all matte look. I don't know why that is. And then of course I have to talk about lips because my channel is Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. There are specifically a couple types of lip products that always just make me feel like, The first is of course a black lip. You have to have a black lip in your collection if you're gonna be a badass bitch. I'm just convinced. I think a lot of people are afraid to try a black lip, but you just go for it. You'll feel so cool, trust me. And especially now, I've talked about when I was like a teenager, how there were only ever shitty qualities of black lipstick, like waxy, awful Halloween Star lipstick. Now there's some great black lipsticks on the market, and I personally prefer like a dry matte down black. Just looks damn cool, and you can layer glitters over black and like other lipsticks, and like the possibilities are endless. Also, what I chose to wear today, a red. I don't like fire truck reds or like reds with too much of an orange base tone, but I love a dark red, like a blood red, like a kind of brown tone red. Specifically today I'm wearing Drop Dead Red, which is a great name for this video. This is a melted matte lipstick from Too Faced, which they make one of my favorite dark liquid lipstick formulas, because I feel like a lot of brands who make darker lip colors, they are streaky and hard to work with. I don't find that to be the case with Too Faced. But also, and the reason why my channel is called Spooky Lips, I love, of course, an unnatural colored lip, specifically like a blue or a green or a purple. That is where part of my YouTube name comes from. When I was in college, a friend of mine used to get like very bothered when I wore my, like, he would call alien colored lips, and that's kind of where, but I always loved them so much, and that's kind of where my channel name comes from. But like, out of those colors, blue especially, I really debated putting a blue on for this video, because blue is such a bad bitch color. You have to be fearless to just go out and wear a blue lip, and I recommend that everybody do that. A lot of my favorite blue lips recently were from Makeup Monsters. I know as Menagerie Cosmetics, they're getting ready to release not only new lipstick colors in that same formula, but older like classic shades from their old line as well. So I'm very excited to see what they bring back and what new shades they come out with. Also, for some reason, my boyfriend like loves me in a blue lip. I don't know why, and of course, like, when a man's obviously lusting over you, there is a little bit of like, holy shit, I'm like the coolest bitch in the room right now. Like, when, you know what I mean? Like, you just feel like, not to say that like any of my self-worth is ever determined by like a man's attention, don't get me wrong, but you know, there's like a part of you that gets like a little excited when someone gives you that kind of like oogly attention. You know what I'm talking about. And with that, that is all the makeup that makes me feel like a bad bitch. Thank you so much, Nisa, for wanting to collab with me, and also being for understanding that I am a train wreck of a human. I love you so very much. I will obviously link Nisa's channel down below and link her video down below, because she is like the funniest human on the planet, and you really need to go check her out immediately. Go. And then talk to me down below about the makeup that just makes you feel on top of your game, fearless, strong, confident, any way you want to phrase it, a bad bitch, like whatever just makes you feel the most you, the most, you know, talk to me about those products down below. If you like this video, if you like excessive amounts of makeup, if you like me, please like and subscribe. I also have an Instagram, which is also Speakless. I just said also twice. I have an Instagram, which is also Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, where you can go to check out what I'm doing when I'm not on YouTube. My bra strap has been hanging out like this whole video. I have a Patreon link down below as well, which is where I'm going to be putting spooky content very, very soon. I had to teeter with like how to format the videos and how to get them on the platform. So they're coming, I promise. To everyone who's already pledged to me, thank you so incredibly much. It's a little overwhelming and I love you guys. You're going to have exclusive content very, very soon. And that is everything. Thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!